Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So I'm here today with another Dollar Tree haul. So as I mentioned in my last Dollar Tree haul, which really covered about almost 3 months worth of pickups, there wasn't a lot in my stores recently. Well, some of those stores that I've gone back to over the past couple of weeks here, they've actually started trickling in with some new movies. In fact, my primary store, they had not had anything for a couple months, but they finally added some. And then I'm going to call it my secondary store. They are the ones that typically have just a ton of movies like left over from the previous hauls. Well, they actually added 2 end caps full of the new movies from this wave. And so I actually think I took some footage that you should be seeing now, but just a ton of movies there. It's ridiculous. But to be honest, like most of them are either things that I'm just not interested in or ones that I've picked up in either previous waves or in the last haul that I did earlier in the month of December. But yeah, so I was able to find 13 more items that I thought were interesting and pick them up. And most of these, which is good news, most of these are actually either well-known movies or just bigger name titles, as opposed to like all that Echo Bridge stuff. I do have a couple in here maybe that are not quite the big titles, but those are just fun for me. So I always grab some of those. But anyway, I have 1 Blu-ray, 1 TV series, and then the rest are all DVDs, movies. So yeah, really excited to share with you guys everything else that I've got here over the past couple of weeks. So let's get into this, guys. If you do enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my Dollar Tree haul. So I'll actually start with the Blu-ray this time around, just because there's only one, so why not get that one out of the way? And this is one that I actually passed on when I found it on DVD a couple of weeks ago, but since I found it on Blu-ray, I figured I would pick it up. This is Adopt a Highway, and this one has Ethan Hawke in it playing this character who, I guess he was in prison for like his third strike on a marijuana possession, and so he spent 21 years in prison, which is absurd, but that's how it goes here. And so he gets out, he's working at this restaurant as a dishwasher. He's taking out the trash. At least that's kind of what it looked like on the back here. He's taking out the trash one night, and he comes across this abandoned baby, and I guess he is going to take it in, from what I can tell. And so I've actually heard pretty good things about this, and Ethan Hawke is a really talented actor, so hopefully this one will be pretty good. And like I said, I didn't need it when I saw it on DVD, but once the blue case popped up here, once it was on Blu-ray, I had to pick it up. So Adopt a Highway with Ethan Hawke, and I believe this one is from 2019, so hopefully this will be a good one for the Blu-ray collection. All right, so now let's move over to the DVDs I found. And the first one here is actually a TV series, which I'll be honest with you, I didn't pay close enough attention to this one, because if I realized what it was, I might not have grabbed it. But here we are. This is Shameless, season 1 and 2. So I saw the title Shameless and thought, absolutely, I want to pick that up because William H. Macy, I want to see how he does in Shameless. I've heard good things. Well, turns out, little unbeknownst to me, there's actually a UK version of Shameless, and that's what this one is. So this is not the one with William H. Macy, but as I'm looking at it here, there he is. Good old James McAvoy from the X-Men movies. So because James McAvoy is in this, I might give this a shot. Otherwise, I probably would have just traded it away because it wasn't what I thought it was. But I know I have some viewers from overseas. Let me know, is this one worth it or not? Is this worth my time? Either way, 2 seasons for $1 is a really good deal. So yeah, it is what it is. It wasn't what I thought it was, but I'm still happy to have it just because it was so cheap. So let me know if this is one that I should watch anytime soon, because James McAvoy's in it. What's not to like there, right? So, although it's not William H. Macy, maybe McAvoy will make up for it. So, Shameless, seasons 1 and 2. So here's one of those like B movies, but it's a zombie film, and so I picked it up. This is Infected, and this is a zombie movie. It's going to be a low-budget zombie film. You can see on the back it has that indie film color grading going on, which you often see in indie horror films like this, just maybe indie films in general. But anyway, this and the tagline here is Diagnosis Extinction. So hopefully this one will be good. It is just a zombie apocalypse film, which I tend to enjoy. We'll see if it's good or not. I don't know. No idea, but I figured I'd grab it. So Infected, another zombie movie for the collection. The next one here is another of those probably Z-grade movies, but this is Woman in the Woods. So this is from 2020, and I remember this one being at Walmart because my buddy sent me a picture of it when it was at Walmart, and I told him in that picture, I said, just wait a little while, that'll be at the Dollar Tree eventually, and lo and behold, here we are. I got it for $1, so much better than the $10 that it was going for at Walmart. But yeah, this looks like a fantasy film. You can see the back there, like these giants in there. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but because it was one that I remembered from Walmart when it was new, I figured let's pick it up. I have to see it, see if it's any good or not. So we have Mercedes Cabral and Brian Sy in this, whose names I don't recognize, but I don't know. We'll see if this 2020 release is any good or not. So Woman in the Woods. This next one here is really interesting looking. This is Darlin, directed by Pollyanna McIntosh. And this one, it actually says on the back, well, first off, what I thought was interesting, the aspect ratio, 2.00 to 1. Never heard of that before. Is that a typo? I'm very intrigued to see. But it also talks about, on the back here, continuing the twistedly vicious adventure of Lucky McKean's cult hit, The Woman. Yeah, so is this the sequel to The Woman? I have no idea. I mean, the cover looks very familiar to The Woman, so I am super intrigued about this one. I need to do a little bit more research to see what this is, but I was just pulled in by the premise here. This woman is found by, like, this church. She's vicious, she's feral, and dirty, and then they take her in, and then, I don't know, I'm sure weird things are going to happen from there, but very intrigued now to know if this is related to The Woman. Let me know if you know in the comments below, but in the meantime, I'm glad to add Darlin to the collection. I am so excited that I found this because I love Jim Varney. This is Ernest's Wacky Adventures, and on the back here, there's actually, it looks like 3 different movies or specials, whatever these are. You have Your World as I See It, Ernest Greatest Hits 1, and Ernest Greatest Hits Volume 2. So yeah, I am very intrigued to see what is on here because, I mean, who doesn't love Ernest? He is hilarious. I used to love him growing up. The things you watch from him nowadays, they still hold up just because he is such a good actor. And so yeah, very intrigued to see what actually is on here. But 3 of Ernest's specials, whatever they are, for $1, I could not pass up. So very excited to add this Ernest's Wacky Adventures to the collection. All right, so now we're getting into some of the bigger name titles with known actors. This one here is Red Corner with Richard Gere. So I'd actually never heard of this one before, but I guess this is an action thriller where Richard Gere's character is like stuck in communist China and he's trying to get out, or he's having a legal battle, something like that. And so, yeah, this is one that I'm surprised I hadn't heard of given, who's in it, but I never had before, but it sounds very, very interesting. And so we'll see. This one is directed by John Avenett, who I don't recognize offhand. But yeah, hopefully this will be a fun one, a good thriller with Richard Gere. Red Corner. And then we have a couple of war films here. The first one is just an awesome cast. This is Home of the Brave. And you can see here, Siskel and Ebert and Roper give it 2 thumbs up. But the cast, Samuel L. Jackson, Jessica Biel, who I love. Who else is here? Brian Presley and Curtis Jackson. So a really strong cast that I am very excited to check out. This is a pretty well-known film, but one that I've never seen before. So I figured this would be fun to watch when I get around to it. I have a good number of war films that I still need to see, so I'll add this one to the list now. Home of the Brave. Another one in a similar vein with Bruce Willis and Colin Farrell, so just an awesome cast. This is Heart's War, and I should mention this one is an MGM release, much like Home of the Brave, and I believe, yeah, Red Corner. So a ton of MGM releases at my stores this time around. So yeah, this is another one where one of the characters is like a prisoner of war, and so I believe I think Colin Farrell's character is the prisoner of war, and then Bruce Willis is trying to like get him free, help break him out. And so yeah, should be a really good one just because it has an amazing cast. So excited to check out Heart's War. This next movie is one that I have wanted to see for the longest time. I remember like when trailers were out for it, when it was new. It has Josh Hartnett in it, and I don't know, it's just one that I really wanted to see. This is Wicker Park. And so I always remember it just because when I went to Chicago, I was like, oh, there's Wicker Park. I never knew what it was referring to when I was younger until I actually went to Chicago and realized what it was. But yeah, this is about, basically it's a love triangle of sorts, or you know what? Yeah, I guess so, because I think the the main character, all of a sudden, his old girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend just disappeared one day. And a few years later, he thinks he sees her coming out of a train or something like that. And so then it just becomes this like paranoia thriller. And so it sounds awesome, has a great cast, and yeah, just super excited to finally own this one, because all these years I never had it in the collection. So now that I do, I can finally give it a watch. So hopefully Wicker Park will live up to the hype I've built for it in my head, but we'll see. This next one here just looks like a stupid comedy, but that's fine by me. This is 21 and Over, and it's from the same writers of The Hangover, which is a really fun movie, so hopefully I'll like this one too. But yeah, this is on the day before a critical interview, straight-A college student Jeff Chang gets a surprise visit from his two best buds to celebrate his 21st birthday. So yeah, it's just gonna go from there. Obviously, you can tell what type of movie this is gonna be, but I love that this has, I guess I don't even know his name, but it's the guy from Pitch Perfect, he's fantastic in Pitch Perfect. So yeah, very excited to see this one. I was surprised I didn't own it. I thought I already did, but going through my collection, it was actually Project X that I owned and not this one. But to me, they're kind of like, they seem similar, and I feel like they're going to be very familiar to each other in terms of what the movies are about. So we'll see if this one is as funny as it looks. 21 and Over. How do you pass up on a sexy thriller with Antonio Banderas and Angelina Jolie, Original Sin? So this is one that I've always heard about, heard really good things about it, and it was finally, available to me for $1 at the Dollar Tree, another MGM title. But yeah, I am really excited to add this one to the collection. Obviously, Angelina Jolie is excellent. Antonio Banderas he does so many interesting roles. And so, yeah, I'm hoping this one will kind of live up to what I'm expecting from them, because it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, really excited that I was able to find Original Sin. And last but not least is one that I saw people found this like, I don't know, early last year or mid last year. It was a long time ago, but I finally had it at my store. Throw Mama from the Train with Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito. And then, what's her name? Anne Ramsey, I believe. Yeah, Anne Ramsey from like The Goonies is in this, which is amazing. She's a great actress. And so, yeah, this is a movie that the title of the film like is always one that stuck with me. I remember my uncles owned this on VHS, but I don't remember ever watching it. I may have, I just don't recall at this point. But yeah, this should be hilarious and just a ton of fun. So very excited that I was able to find this one finally after like a year plus of people having found this a long time ago. It finally hit my store, so I got super lucky with this. There was only a couple there, so yeah, very excited that I was able to find Throw Mama from the Train, and that is going to wrap up all of the movies that I've grabbed recently from the Dollar Tree. All right, so there they are, all 13 items that I have found recently, and I think this is a pretty good stack of movies here. Like, I love the fact that they're getting some bigger name movies, even though they are, a little bit older, maybe not the biggest films ever, but I think it's just cool with these MGM titles because you get a good mix of different styles of film, different eras of film, so that's always cool. Plus, you still get some of that Z-grade and B-grade horror and sci-fi, fantasy, whatever it might be, which I just love picking up, so I hope they never get rid of that. But out of curiosity, have the prices raised at your store? I know a lot of stores around. My buddy sends me pictures. His movies are now $1.25 as opposed to $1. Fortunately, my stores here are still $1, so mine haven't gone up, but I'm curious if your guys' has gone up to $1.25 yet, like they've been talking about. But aside from that, let me know that down in the comments, but also let me know what I should prioritize from this list. What stands out to you as a must-see immediately? Give me any of those recommendations down below. I always appreciate all of your recommendations down there, so thank you so much for that. But as always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That engagement really does help me out. Whether you're leaving a comment, a like, or sharing the video, any engagement you guys do with the video is super important, so thank you so much for all of that. I really do appreciate it. But like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, graphic novels, manga, video games. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.